right, let's switch it on to something fun. It's the new game that we started last podcast. It's called Versus Challenge.
Good, we can get Ricky
All right?
talk this time.
Oh,
Yeah, and no matter what, you have to choose a side, so it doesn't matter.
I hope
All
he's
right.
arguing.
There will be. All right, so the first one's going to be PlayStation 2 versus Dreamcast.
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 It's not even close.
It's a little silent over there. Oh, no.
It got quiet on the white side.
I'm afraid to say. I think I might actually go PlayStation 2 on this
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like there are two different systems. Like, obviously, there are two different systems, but like the horror games on PlayStation 2 are just so special. But the arcade ports, like, you're not going to get better on Dreamcast. So I didn't own the Dreamcast. It was a PS2, but I see why people would pick Dreamcast. So it's a. Oh, I got to pick. What?
You
have
got to pick. It's
bro.
a versus.
You can't politician yourself.
Yeah.
You can't Secret Service like that lady's doing and not give an answer.
I'm not saying the white side is right, but I'm going to say PS2.
Dang.
Two.
Dang.
Ben? Ben?
I'm gonna say Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Dreamcast. Okay,
Dang.
Ricky, let's hear. What's your argument for Dreamcast being the best?
Dreamcast just is so smooth. It plays so smooth. If you ever played Virtual Tennis or any of the Marvel vs. Capcom on Dreamcast, best controller to play Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
1 and 2 if you play on Japanese. But
argue against it.
I love the controller. I love the technology, how they had the little VMU that actually you can take it out. It's a game. Dude, that thing was... It's so good. Power Stone came out there.
Power Stone is awesome.
God, it's
The
so
Crazy
good.
Taxi on there is so good
It's
too.
so
that
good.
version.
They just, dude, I know... I'm kind of bummed out that it didn't have the life it should have.
Yeah.
Because I think if it would have gotten more games, then this wouldn't even be like close to a competition.
It's. I think the reason Dreamcast sticks out more to me, which I'm with you on the horror games on
That
PS2.
is true.
Right?
Yeah.
That I'm a horror guy. I'm with you on the Silent Hill 2s and
Yeah.
But I think that I have a special place for Dreamcast because that's kind of like where Ricky and I met, like was playing Dreamcast together.
Yeah.
PS2 was more like a solo thing. I've always made the joke that people who play PlayStation grew up with no friends.
Oh, no.
System.
It's obviously a joke, but
Very
yeah.
solo system.
And I always liked Dreamcast. Like, yes, there was the Shenmues and the more intense single player games.
Yeah.
But I loved the arcadey style games that came out and the way they performed.
Yeah.
I think what you said too, I feel like they just feel a little bit more smooth.
It's very smooth.
It's very smooth.
Very smooth.
Agreed.
Yeah.
What's your argument for PlayStation 2?
I just played more of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember I had some good memories playing Dreamcast.
What are your
with
3 favorite games on it?
Resident Evil 4. I like that.
Play that on the GameCube, but yeah.
Resident Evil 4. I like the God of War 1 and 2.
Okay, that's a good call.
All right,
That's a good
that's
call.
I love the God of Wars.
It's a good scapegoat.
Yeah. I think I know why I picked the PS2. It is because I played it more. I didn't know much about the Dreamcast. I did go over to a friend's house to play Power Stone, and it was amazing. But honestly, that's when DVDs come out. I was watching movies. I felt cool. I was doing behind the scenes. Like, I get behind the scenes and deleted scenes and the Eminem soundtracks, going through all the Eminem songs when he was just coming up and being big and picking all those and just dancing in a room, even though white boy with no rhythm, just enjoying the other aspects of it. And I think that's why just those fond memories of the movies and the extra.
Nice.
It's always going to be hard to rate things because of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Right? Like at the end of the day, if we do like hardware only, game versus game, but
Yeah.
it's so hard to detach yourself from the world surrounding
Yeah.
you at that time.
Yeah.
So, all right. PlayStation on this side.
I don't feel like we're like too good at like hardware descriptions as well. We're like the goofs of everything.
Yeah, we're not
dude.
the best with the details.
No.
We get roasted
It's
up.
more game fun. That's how I like to describe stuff.
All right, the next one's gonna be country music versus soft rock music. When I say soft rock, it's more like the 80s, 70s, 80s genre.
Ooh,
Bruce
okay.
Springsteen, is that soft rock?
Yeah.
I'm thinking more like, are we thinking like
Journey or
singer
something?
songwriter?
Like Journey? Like
Journey is, yeah, that's soft.
Journey soft rock?
Soft rock it is.
You know, it's really hard for me because I don't know if you classify. I think a lot of bands like Bread, which are like almost like singer songwriter, but I guess those don't count as soft rock. I'm actually not the biggest fan of soft rock.
Mm-hmm.
I like country a lot more now than I used to, but I'm a big fan of like country. I don't
Like
I'm not
old
talking-
Western type, or
I'm not
just-
talking. Give me a you know, a cringy beat and sing like a cowboy and it counts as country.
Yeah.
I love like the old like Marty Robbins and El Paso type stuff where they're just singing about being gunslingers and
Yeah.
the old West, you know,
Yeah.
the 40s guys. Like that's the style of country I like. I'm not a big fan of the newer stuff at all. So I actually think thought I would never say this. Dad, you are so proud right now. I definitely would say country.
Oh,
I
Dang.
despise country music.
Yeah.
I love all kinds of music. I do not like country music. I do not. So like if it's soft rock, if it was Journey, is Phil Collins soft rock?
yeah.
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 Collins, like I can listen to that kind of stuff. That's
Yeah.
like smooth listening, easy listening. I like it.
I like it. It's pretty good work music for me.
But country for me,
I can
I've been getting into it a little bit.
Listening to George Michael for some reason.
I'd listen to some George Michael.
Just good
See,
about
but I struggle because I think of bands like America, like Ventura Highway and stuff. I don't consider that soft rock though. I consider that singer-songwriter-y.
Question. What about Johnny Cash?
Dude, you just took my thing.
I put him.
Talk about it. Talk about it right now.
rock than country.
What's he
No, he's
considered?
country.
So I would say if Johnny Cash is considered country, that's my dude.
That is.
That's my dad's.
That is.
That's rock.
No.
Yeah.
He's like in between, but I've always because I do
think
like
they-
Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
I do like Johnny Cash.
It's weird. My two favorite artists of all time are so opposite. It's Tupac and Johnny Cash. Those are those are my two favorite.
Dude,
And
their
I
album's
love
really good.
I like
Yeah.
Johnny Tupac.
you feel his pain. You
what-
feel Johnny Cash's pain and stuff like that. So you just really feel it. So I love Johnny Cash.
What is
Johnny
Willie
Cash is
Nelson?
great.
Is Willie Nelson
Country.
Oh, country, yeah.
Is that country?
Yeah.
Okay, I like Willie
I think
Nelson,
there's some
too.
country I could show you. I think there's some country I'd show you, and you're like, "Oh, this is cool." You like country,
I
don't
like
you?
Willie Nelson.
I love how you're
I
like,
like Johnny Cash.
some
so
good
that's-
this is
you
Chris
guys
like
classify
tiptoeing
that
into
as
it. He's like,
country.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just remember growing up and my mom always listening to country music, and I was like, God, please change this.
Yep.
Like I just didn't. I couldn't take it.
Like, put on
anymore.
Tupac.
I like
She was country music and Backstreet Boys.
Would also be Wings.
Torture.
see that.
Wings to me is rock.
Is it?
They're pretty
I think
soft.
so.
Pretty
That's
slow.
like the Beatles.
Yeah,
It's like Paul McCartney.
Beatles is rock and roll.
Back when he was like,
Is it country-ish?
it's not country. It's soft rock. It's
Soft
not.
rock.
It's not like what it used
Yeah,
to
I
be.
would say that's.
I don't know. Post Malone's country now, so you never know.
Well, again, I think this goes down to separating nostalgia because I'm like, you know, Marty Robbins,
Yeah.
Tammy Wynette, Patsy Cline, like these old, just like they're just singing with a guitar.
Yeah.
And I just picture my parents dancing in the house, my dad working in the garage, and to me that's the most special music. So when I hear it, I'm just like, oh, it's so good. Funny enough, my kids are like love that old country, not the new stuff. They love old country, like old.
I like Jelly Roll and stuff. I
Jelly
like some
Roll's
of that.
so good.
Yeah, Jelly
Jelly
Roll's
Roll's so
pretty
good.
darn good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like Jelly Roll. Yeah.
Because the
Post
feeling,
Malone
you feel
stuff
it. You
is
feel
kinda
his.
It's not bad. I'll be honest. He,
Stapleton.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's a
good.
newer one that changed the game with that voice. He's
Yeah.
pretty.
Really good.
I just feel like Chris doesn't go out of his way to listen to it, but I know he like
We'll get
secretly
you.
has a
We'll make a
desire
playlist.
every once in a while.
Do not have a.
What did you pick? You never picked, Ryan.
I didn't, but I was gonna say if Johnny Cash is considered country, I just automatically go there. But growing up, it was only hip hop and R&B for me for sure. And then like I said, I was almost a minority where I grew up, and so country was like we clowned on country like no other. I discovered Johnny Cash late after his movie and started going back and listening to all his stuff, and I just fell in love with his voice. And even when we started doing like ministry type stuff, and
Yeah.
I was like, I would love to be in there listening to him talk all day long.
Oh, dude.
And so, yeah, and opposite of you, like now I listen to the Highway. I like a lot of country music, the newer stuff. I like a lot of the female artists.
Oh, good.
I also like when Halsey, she teamed up with I forget her name. Is it Kelsey Ballerina?
Oh, I don't know.
Halsey teamed up with him.
Team Kelsey and Halsey did like a duet
collab?
type thing, like a concert together, and it's one of the best things I've ever seen.
I do
of
have
her.
to admit that I like Halsey's voice.
She is
I do admit.
on point. Yeah.
I do admit that I like her voice.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll go on to the next one. I mean, I don't know how much Riff will be able to comment on this one, but it's gonna be Pokemon versus Yu-Gi-Oh versus Magic the Gathering. There's 3 you got to choose between.
I could pick.
All right, here we go.
Ricky, you start.
Pokemon, obviously.
And
I
these are
love
by
Pokemon.
trading cards. So
Pokemon,
Yeah,
for sure.
Pokemon.
how about you, man?
Pokemon.
I
And
don't
I
know.
didn't play any of them as a kid.
Dang.
Pokemon
So you're just gonna choose it over value or something over there, huh?
value.
Yeah.
I like Charizard. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
I love. Before Ryan answers, I love Riff's attempt to like say Pokemon names.
What'd you just say? Pokenuon?
No, Pokemon
That
names.
makes fun of me.
Pokemans.
Bro, I can name
Good
10 of
time.
them off my back. No, I probably couldn't. Never mind.
So I would say Magic the Gathering hands down for playability and like how long the game has lasted. I think Pokemon's great for collectability. So Magic is just a more in-depth Pokemon game. There's a lot more going on. So play-wise, and if you enjoy playing the game, Magic hands down. But collectability and having value and things being worth more later down the road, Pokemon all day.
You
If I
think
had to go
so?
off the cards that I think are the best to look at, though, Yu-Gi-Oh is pretty incredible.
Yeah,
Oh, is that
They have
like
a-
good artwork?
They do
The
look good.
artwork is unbelievable. On
it
this
is. They
thing.
are dope.
Yeah.
You know what
and
the worst
names.
artwork is? The Black Lotus.
That's one of my favorite cards I own.
No, I know it is.
Yeah.
Oh, you own?
You own it.
It's for sale in my store for $24K right now.
But is the artwork very basic on it? Like a
It
little.
is. It is basic, but it's the Charizard.
I just meant artwork.
Yeah.
Artwork wise.
What does it do? Like if you put down a Black Lotus, what
Yeah,
does it do?
so
while
it
you're
costs
playing?
0 to put it out, and you sacrifice it, and you get 3 mana. So you could play anything instead of like waiting your third turn to play something.
Yeah.
you could play something first turn that costs 3, which is your 3 turns ahead of anybody. So it changes the game big time.
Does anybody
Oh,
ever
dang.
play with that card anymore? Or is it just collectors?
No,
now
it's
that have
so
it?
there's different formats which is nice with Magic. That's I think considered legacy only. So you only get to play what they call the Power 9 in Legacy. So it's only one format. So a lot of times people play that. It's kind of like a status symbol, almost like people playing that format still because Magic's just so crazy now with all the sets that come. But it's still a cool piece to have, like a Charizard, just to have it in your
Yeah.
collection. And I love having it in my store since we're a WPN store, and I wanted people like, oh,
24.
What sells the most out of those 3 categories?
man, it's tough. Magic and Pokemon are pretty equal. I would say since we've dedicated so much to Magic and we're a premium store, that Magic's a little bit more.
Got it.
But Pokemon, like things are so allocated and stuff like that, so you only can get so much at a time. So they both sell freaking excellent. Yu-Gi-Oh don't sell at all for us.
Really?
For me, Pokemon, because I sell cards, singles.
It's only first edition for Yu-Gi-Oh.
But I've always heard if you don't have a place to play, like people
100%.
want to buy Magic to play it.
They support their
Right. So for
Yep.
me, it's just Pokemon, and I sell a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh actually.
Yeah.
Not so much Magic because I don't have a gaming area to play.
He's 100% right. Makes a great point. So Magic players support wherever they play at. That's the shop they support. So they're very like, yo, this is my shop.
dang.
I'm not going to another shop. Like this is like a lot of them don't move around too much. There's some that do, but Pokemon they'll buy anywhere. They don't care. Like where I can grab Pokemon, I'll go get it. Magic will be like, okay, I'll wait for you to get it in type thing. So they
Loyalty,
yeah, there's a lot of
yeah.
loyalty with Magic.
And you said you run Pokemon tournaments, like people are playing Pokemon.
Big time. We had 34
Big
people
time.
yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I always thought it was more just like a collector's scene now.
But also we have that, but I have an actual Pokemon professor that works for me. So as they work for me, I told them to go become a Pokemon professor.
That means they're
Yeah.
teaching people how to play.
So yeah, so you could run the events. We run big cups and stuff where we get over like 50, 60 people and stuff like that. And so we become a place where they hold like bigger tournaments. But having a Pokemon professor makes that easier. And I don't know nothing about Pokemon.
Dang. We might have to do it in that
I
place.
need a Pokemon professor.
Seriously. Hey,
Pokemon
please tell me his name's Oak.
Dude, I don't know how to play Pokemon cards. What the heck? I was the Yu-Gi-Oh guy out of all this because I love the first
Nobody
edition.
cares.
But whatever, dude. Whatever.
Ricky,
Next art.
Were you hold on one sec. Ricky, were you playing Pokemon games or collecting cards first?
I was playing the games first.
Okay.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've been picking up a lot more cards as of recently.
I have. I love the way they look. Dude, it's cool. I like Pokemon too much as a
Yeah.
grown adult, but I love it.
You can't argue. There's
it's
not
grown
many
on
better
me.
franchises out there.
Yeah,
So-
even like collecting.
Dude,
Even-
I just bought this giant inflatable banner from like Australia. It's like this big. Pokemon Gold and silver.
silver.
I was like, wow, cool.
That's tight.
the
Yeah.
best games to play for. You should just breaking everything over here.
I really
Great.
am.
It's like he's back and he just breaks everything. Ah, Ricky, no. But when you were playing with like the gold and silver little blow up, how much did you pay for that? Like that big old thing.
I think I paid $400 total.
And that's a display.
That's a display, but it also came with two inflatable Pokemon. I had no idea who they were.
You don't know who the Pokemon are?
Dude, I'm more into the
Bro, Google
the-
Lens that.
Well, I know that. I mean, yeah, I can Google Lens it, but I'm more into like the
Original?
original
Yeah.
150 because
Yep.
that was my
Red, blue, and yellow. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna switch on to another one. It's gonna be gaming plush versus gaming figures.
Gaming what?
Figures like toys.
Plush versus figures?
Yeah.
Figures as in can statues be figures or
No.
no? Okay, cool.
Because no one can own those other than you guys.
Versus toys. Plush versus toys. I would go toys. The gaming? Does that have to be gaming?
I just had those as gaming, but I mean, you could switch it up. I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
most toys are in gaming, like X-Men and all that stuff.
I'll
So.
go
Oh,
toys.
when you go like that, that's different.
Ricky,
I don't
you're
know.
a plushie guy, bro.
I am a plushie guy, but if I'm gonna go like, let's say I want to do X-Men, I don't want a plush X-Men. I want like Gambit.
What about the
Blow.
WWF plush?
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. All right.
I feel like you would pick up a Nintendo plush way before you'd pick up an X-Men figure.
This
So,
is true. Yeah.
You
all right.
do like plush a
Let's stick
lot.
with. I don't
he's
know
a
what it is,
huge-
dude. I just
You
pick
are
them
a
up.
Plushy guy,
Yeah.
man.
Did you see that Hulkster I got?
I did not.
I got this like funky old school Hulkster that's like this tall. I think it's
Yeah.
Flexing on stuffed animals, bro.
All right, so you're plush.
He's a plush guy. Come on,
I'm
Ricky.
flesh. I'm flesh.
This is
I'm
also
flesh.
like a $900 plush sitting next to me that Ricky sold me for like $100.
I've never
Push it
seen
over.
that ever, so that's nice.
It'll be on my car tomorrow.
It's available.
No, I pick toys because I think of like the weird lines that I grew up with that I would like to have like specific toys for. Like I would love to have all the Exo Squads. I've never really gotten into doing them, but if I had to pick, I'd probably go for more of those weird lines like the Cowboys of Moo Mesa and the Exo Squads and the Weirdos. And then the very specific line of Batman the Animated Series. That was my childhood.
Nice.
Oh, it's so
one.
good.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a figure guy. I grew up playing with figures, and like I was just in my store today or yesterday maybe, but I was looking at like we had some awesome Street Fighter figures. They're like the G.I. Joe ones. Like those are awesome. I love the Resident Evil figures.
Figures.
If we're including X figures.
bunch of figures.
Ooh, don't forget your Street Shark plushes.
Oh yeah, the Street Shark. That thing's gone. So
With monsters?
oh, I just got another one.
Sick.
See?
Yeah.
Ricky, there's some good
But here's the thing. I do love Transformers, and that's technically a figure.
I love
Yeah, but I'm telling you,
Transformers,
you would
too.
definitely pick plush over
I was
those
gonna say,
every
when
time.
I see you at the swap meet picking, I see you more excited when you get a certain plush.
I see that too.
I see that
do,
with Ricky.
yeah.
You're more excited to show me. When it's toys, you're like, oh, I got these toys. Cool.
And he hides them in his lockers.
Ryan, what about you?
Honestly, like my heroes growing up were more like athletes, so I didn't really get into toys, but I would still pick toys because my only non-athlete heroes were in a half shell. I love the turtles.
Awesome.
Turtles were the best. I loved Raphael. He was my guy. And
You're a Raphael guy.
yeah, I loved Raphael.
That says a lot about someone.
Yeah, I know. it
Knowing
does.
what
I know.
Ninja Turtle you
Never-
like.
I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever heard somebody that likes
He's the strongest
Raphael.
turtle.
You like Raphael? Oh, all right.
No, he's the strongest turtle.
yeah, I loved him.
I like Leo.
He's the strongest.
To me, like he was the backup for everyone. He had everyone's back. Like
Yeah.
he was, even though he had his attitude, because we know he probably should have been the leader. But
He was
okay.
given weapons to basically just play defense the entire time, though.
Well, he was too strong. He didn't.
Have you
he
heard the
didn't-
theories about that?
No.
About the Ninja Turtles, why they were given their weapons? Apparently, they were given their weapons by Splinter to teach them lessons. What is Raphael's problem? Aggression.
Yeah.
What are size used for? Defense.
Oh.
Oh, where did you learn that?
Michelangelo, what is he? He's goofy. He's out of control. What's one of the hardest weapons in the world to use? Nunchuck.
Troll.
Oh.
So I heard that there's this whole theory about the way they were given certain things is to teach them like control of certain parts of their life.
So like Donatello was too smart, so they gave him the dumbest
I
weapon?
think
Like,
so. No, I think it was something like that. I think it was something like that.
That's great.
Here's a
That's
stick.
great.
And I can't remember
Good luck.
Leonardo's.
Everybody else has guns and swords.
What's the Splinter then?
I can't remember Leonardo's.
Leo was so weak he needed a big ass sword.
I don't remember what his thing was, like why, but I saw a YouTube short on it, and at first I was like, oh, it's kind of funny. I was like, it actually makes sense though.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't. Yeah, I can't.
But
Yeah,
that-
if Raphael had that sword, he might be doing some damage.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Right? And
much damage.
Michelangelo probably killed himself if he had a
Yeah.
sword. I'd be very. What's everyone's favorite Ninja Turtle go around? It always says a lot about someone.
Leo.
Curtis? Okay, Ricky,
Oh, sorry.
Ricky's Leonardo.
I like Leo though. That's like I liked him.
Double Leos. I'm for sure.
Leo.
I'm for sure Michelangelo.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a Leo guy.
My favorite color is blue, so it's weird that I don't pick Leo. But Raphael, I really just felt he was so strong. But there's no turtle I hate more in video games than Raphael.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, give me Leo or Donatello all day long.
1 inch.
Yeah.
Especially the
So-
original one.
Yeah, you're just like
Donatello was OP.
so hard. Yeah. What is this? Exactly.
Donatello was OP because he had all the cheats. He
Yeah,
could hit up
Yeah.
above.
Oh my God.
Ben, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Donatello.
Oh, let's go.
Game
Ben.
party, dude.
Nice, nice.
Nobody picked Donnie. Aw.
Have you guys paid attention to like the Last Ronin and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
I read it.
This guy
A little
does.
bit.
I read it.
That story is pretty cool. And I
Really
think they're
good.
making a series or a movie on it, and I can't wait.
I
to,
hope they
That'd
do.
be sick.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hope
and it's
Make it dark.
surprising. I won't say who it is if you guys already know. But
It's gonna
who's
be
the-
live
who-
action.
Who is
Diesel.
the Last Ronin? Like of all the turtles,
I
who
love
it is.
I loved it the comic guy. Everybody was calling out Chris for not knowing his comics in that last episode.
I didn't even read it.
Yeah,
really?
yeah. We got roasted.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't read comics, and then we were just saying whatever we wanted, and it was so
Guys,
wrong.
now preface this on the podcast. We are dumb.
We are 100% dumb.
We should start every podcast. Welcome back, Pixel Plus. We talk out of.
we try. We're good at trying.
Well, I always say I grew up just enjoying everything, but not like researching
Me
everything.
too.
Yeah,
Me
they're
too.
personal opinions.
Yeah, I enjoy.
Scramble
When it
brains is one
comes
of my
to, like,
favorite things.
dates and all that, like I'm not the best at that stuff.
Oh heck no! All right, so we're gonna go on this.
One more do
Oh, you
sell
got
figures at your store? I'm just
We
curious.
don't. We tried anime out, and I've tried a couple things. I tried is it Warhammer?
Yeah,
40K?
Warhammer, yeah.
And I tried anime. And I'm a person, if something's not working, if it's not making money in that shelf, I'll sacrifice it to whoever does it best in the area
Yep.
and give them a discount and just give it all and write it off as a loss. So I found if I'm not passionate about something, I'm not doing it. Everything we're passionate about, we absolutely destroy.
So would you say you weren't passionate about like figures?
Yeah, because I
and
didn't know
stuff? Wasn't your thing?
Warhammer much, and it takes a lot of like room and terrain. And there's a couple guys that I really like respect that do it, and they do it on another level. And so I'm like, you know what? We don't need to do that.
Let
We can
them
move
take
away
it.
from that. And anime is cool, except for I don't know anything about anime.
Same.
Like I know nothing, so I'll buy the wrong figures all the time, and so I just don't have.
You gotta eat it, huh?
Yeah, and so I just focus on we're growing so much, and other things are coming out like Lorcana and stuff like that. So we have stuff to replace it.
Is that
And
the
our
Disney
stores-
one?
It is, yeah, Disney.
That's the Disney one. Okay.
Figures are tough in the store setting, and I've talked to other store owners that are like, "Damn, these things don't sell." And like, I was at one of my shops today, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we have a lot of figures. They take up a lot of space." But talk about passion. I love figures. So I'm
Okay.
like, I love to see them when
Yeah.
they're in there, but they are not great sellers by any.
Big
Yeah.
mistake. Should have gone plush.
Last one. Last one.
Fan plush. Plush sells really
I'm hoping
good.
I can split some people up.
What?
NES versus SNES.
Ooh, that's such a hard conversation. That's like
would
my
you even
worst
bring this up?
conversation
That's
on
kind of a
earth.
messed up topic.
Yeah, I just want you to choose. Okay, that's what I
Go
want.
ahead.
All right.
I'm evil.
I'm
You got it.
Big decision.
It is.
I love the Nintendo cart more. Like I love Nintendo NES more, but if I'm gonna go by, are we going by like what plays better? What was the question? What's better?
He said NES, SNES. Take that as
he
you will.
did this on purpose.
God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take what you will with that conversation.
All right, I'm gonna stick to NES just because I love the box. I love the cart.
Yeah.
It's what about when I was a kid? That was my childhood. and I
Ben's
loved it.
mouthing Atari over there. I don't know what that.
Miko. I believe the Super Nintendo is the greatest console of all time, but just the NES is everything. I literally don't think I'd be where I am in my life without the NES. And that sounds weird to say because it's a video game, but we're business owners with video games and conventions with games, and I edit for people because of video games. My whole life started because of NES, and that's not me just like giving it credit and saying, but it kind of sucks. No, it's me giving it credit and saying it's a 9.9 and the Super Nintendo's a 10.
True.
But I still just pick NES. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off of playability. Like if you said to me you could had to choose one to play.
Well, that's not what Curtis said.
You had to choose one to play, I would choose Super NES.
Okay.
But for the same thing you said, like NES means so much to me. It was the first system I got when I was 5.
Yeah.
And so all those games mean a lot to me. But playability, I would choose it. Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
I think that's the most messed up question anyone has ever asked me. But I love your answer to that because we're not here without Nintendo, and Super Nintendo's not here if it wasn't for Nintendo. Nintendo was the start of all of it, right? So I'm the same way. I love playing Super more, but Nintendo would have to be my favorite console of all time.
They also saved the video game industry.
They did.
Yeah,
big time.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, made it look ugly. Made it look the way it does on purpose and called it an entertainment system.
Yeah, damn VCRs.
Yeah. Do
Dang.
you like the way the Nintendo looks?
I'm okay with it.
I like it.
I kind of like it.
I think I love it.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
It's I just love it, even though it's not like you would think on paper you'd be like, that's kind of ugly, but I just love the way it looks.
What, do you love it more than how the Super Nintendo looks?
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
do
Nice.
too.
Nice.
Yeah.
You?
But then the top loader is just like an
I
icing
don't
on
know.
a cake.
That nostalgia just hit. I love both.
Yeah.
Excuse
Yeah.
my language. I love them both so
I do
much.
love the click of
no way I'm
Super
editing that.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
I'll do it all.
Power on
Yeah.
the Super Nintendo, man, that thing
When you
feels
get that
good.
on the top loader though,
When you first heard Mario World, like
Not
that
as
little,
much of a
that jingle in the
extra.
beginning when you turn on that Super.
The coin.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
like,
good.
or Mario Kart with that.
I introduced my nephew last night, who is a big time gamer, Wyatt.
Yeah.
I introduced him to Super Mario World.
Yeah.
And he, you know, he's 7. So I was like, oh, let's see how long he will even play it for. But dude, he was like hyped on it.
Super.
See,
so
and that's a
special.
big example. We talked about this
Yeah,
before.
huge.
Like, would it be good for kids in the new generation who'd never played it? And he just a couple hours later was still playing and going at it and loving it. And I was like, there we go. It holds up. Super Mario
It
World.
does. It definitely holds up.